In 2016, All Nippon Airways, Japan's largest airline, a five-star carrier that had never bought a single Airbus widebody, signed a purchase agreement for 3 A380s. Nobody at ANA wanted them, nobody asked for them, and the route they would eventually fly didn't exist yet. To understand how that happened, you have to go back to a man who wanted to burn everything down. Shinichi Nishikubo was not an aviation person. He made his money in Japanese internet startups, sold his company for 9 billion yen, and in 2003 personally invested 3.5 billion of it into Skymark Airlines, Japan's scrappy domestic budget carrier. He became its largest shareholder and a year later its CEO. Nishikubo ran Skymark the way tech founders run startups: top-down, fast, and personally. In 2010, he decided Skymark was done flying cheap tickets between Japanese cities. He ordered 4 Airbus A380s, then 2 more, 6 total. $2.3 billion in aircraft for an airline that had never flown a widebody, never operated internationally, and had maintenance infrastructure built entirely around 737s. The plan was Tokyo to London and Tokyo to New York in an all-premium layout, undercutting ANA and Japan Airlines on their own prestige routes. "We want to try something no one has ever done," Nishikubo said. The first Skymark A380 entered final assembly in Toulouse. The tail was painted, delivery was months away. Then the yen fell. Japan's currency lost nearly a third of its value against the dollar between 2012 and 2014. Everything Skymark owed in foreign currency became dramatically more expensive overnight. The airline swung from a 3.8 billion yen profit to a 1.8 billion yen loss in a single year. Airbus sent a team to renegotiate, but with one condition: if Skymark missed revenue targets, Nishikubo was out, replaced by someone of Airbus's choosing. He refused. Airbus terminated the order. 6 months later, Skymark filed for bankruptcy. Nishikubo resigned the same morning. The planes sat in Toulouse, built, painted, owned by nobody.
Here is where it stops being a story about Skymark. Buried inside the bankruptcy was something 2 airlines could not ignore: 36 landing slots at Tokyo Haneda, the most congested slot-controlled airport in Japan. Whoever controlled the restructuring controlled those slots. 2 bidders entered. ANA moved to protect them. Delta Airlines moved to take them. A Skymark restructured under Delta's influence would hand the American carrier a domestic Japanese feeder network for the first time, cracking a duopoly that ANA and Japan Airlines had protected for 30 years. Airbus held 29% of Skymark's debt. Its vote decided everything. But Airbus also needed someone to take those orphaned A380s. ANA made a quiet offer: support our bid and we take the planes. On August 6, 2015, Airbus switched sides. Delta was out. ANA secured the slots and owed Airbus $1.25 billion for aircraft that contradicted everything it believed about running a modern twin-engine operation. ANA took a 16.5% stake in the restructured Skymark, deliberately held below 20% because Japanese regulations required slot surrenders at exactly that threshold. The number was engineered to the decimal point. They had bought protection. The planes were the price. Now they needed a route: Tokyo Narita to Honolulu. Japan sends over 1 million tourists to Hawaii every year, making it the country's single most popular international leisure destination. Honolulu was one of fewer than 20 airports capable of handling A380 operations. It was the only market in ANA's network where 520 seats made any commercial sense. In October 2016, rather than just paint the planes and move on, ANA opened a public design competition. Anyone in the world could submit a livery concept. 2,197 entries arrived. The winner was a designer from Tokyo named Chihiro Masuoka. His concept? A family of Hawaiian green sea turtles.
The Honu in Hawaiian culture is sacred, a family guardian, a symbol of safe passage across open water. 120 painters worked 21 days on each aircraft, 3,600 square meters of fuselage, 3,300 liters of paint, blue for the sky, emerald green for the ocean, orange for the sunset. 3 planes, 3 names: Lani, Kai, La. The cabin was built around who actually flies this route: families, honeymooners, multi-generational groups. 8 first-class suites with sliding doors, honeymoon seat pairs in business class, couchy seats in economy that fold flat into a sleeping surface wide enough for a parent and child side by side, a dedicated room at the rear with a sink and changing table, rainbow mood lighting throughout both decks. By early 2020, it was working. ANA had grown its Japan-Hawaii seat capacity by 40% in 2 years, climbing from a 15% market share to within reach of 25%. It had overtaken Japan Airlines as the market leader on the route. The 94.8% seat occupancy in 2019 was not supposed to be achievable for a 520-seat aircraft on a leisure route. Then, March 24, 2020. The last Flying Honu departed Narita, Japan closed its borders, and everything stopped. The pandemic hit ANA like a wall. International passenger revenue collapsed 93% in fiscal year 2020. The group posted a record net loss of 404.6 billion yen, or $3.72 billion, the largest in its history, swinging from a $252 million profit the year before. Revenue fell 63%. The airline retired 32 aircraft, cut routes, and restructured from the ground up. The 3 Flying Honu sat parked at Narita, brand new, engines covered, going nowhere. Most A380 operators used the pandemic as an exit. Air France retired their entire fleet in 2020. Malaysia Airlines followed. Others accelerated plans that had been quietly forming for years. ANA couldn't do that. The planes were barely a year old. So instead, they refused to let the brand go quiet. They ran 33 sessions of stationary dining, boarding passengers onto a grounded A380 at the tarmac, serving meals, engines off. 10,031 people came. They ran 46 joyride flights, 90-minute loops that took off from Narita and landed right back at Narita. Tickets required a lottery. More people wanted to fly a turtle to nowhere than there were seats. Each joyride passenger received a special certificate, Flying Honu merchandise, and 380 bonus miles, the number matching the aircraft type. The brand didn't just survive the shutdown, it deepened. The Flying Honu returned to scheduled service on July 1, 2022. 2 weekly flights at first, then daily, then twice daily at peak season. The third turtle, La, returned in October 2023 after spending 2 years in storage. In December 2023, ANA extended the brand further, deploying Flying Honu aircraft on the Haneda-Honolulu route for the first time. ANA posted a record operating profit of 120 billion yen in fiscal 2023, its first profitable year since the pandemic, and the strongest result in its history. But the picture has complications. The weak yen has made Hawaii expensive for Japanese travelers. Load factors have dropped to around 54% in 2024 on some frequencies. 3 airlines, ANA, Japan Airlines, and Delta, now compete on the same market. The turtles that ran at 94.8% full in 2019 sometimes cross the Pacific today with half their seats empty. ANA cannot retire them. They are too young, and the write-down would be enormous. They cannot redeploy them. The A380 fits almost nowhere else. So the planes stay on the route, carrying whatever demand exists, waiting for the yen to recover and Japanese tourists to come back. What ANA built with the Flying Honu was never really a business decision about the Honolulu route. It was a defense of their entire domestic empire, dressed up in turtle paint. The Haneda slots they protected when they bought those planes are worth far more than any revenue the turtles will ever generate.
But somewhere between a creditor vote in a Tokyo courtroom and 10,031 people eating dinner on a stationary widebody, something else happened. ANA accidentally created the most recognized aircraft livery in commercial aviation. A designer drew a turtle, and passengers rearranged their travel plans around it. Lani, Kai, La. 3 turtles, 1 route, every single day.